Hey guys, welcome back to Cosplay Life. I'm Air Bear and welcome back to the Cosplaying 101 series. Today we are on step 5, which is making your cosplay. If you're looking for the previous 4 steps, check in the description box for links to those videos. So I am super excited about this topic. So let's get started. As far as making your cosplay, I can't tell you exactly how to make your cosplay. I mean, unless you leave a comment in the comments box and just ask me. But what I can do is give you general tips and advice that would have helped me in the beginning. So what I've done is I've divided these tips and advice into 3 categories. The first category is helpful tutorials. Second is lists of materials that I like to use. And the third is things that I've learned over time, kind of like miscellaneous things. So let's get started with helpful tutorials. So I've created a playlist full of helpful tutorials that I have found to be helpful. Redundant. These are tutorials that I have been watching and kind of like go back to see how to do certain things. They have like basic techniques that you can use to just get yourself started. Number 2, materials. So there are a lot of videos out there that have materials lists that would be helpful to use when you're cosplaying. I have linked some of those videos right here. In addition to those materials, these are the things that I like to use. Craft foam. I use craft foam for basically every single cosplay. I use it for my gauntlets, I use it for my armor, and craft foam comes in lots of different colors. It comes in lots of thicknesses. I use the thicker craft foam for making armor, and the thinner craft foam I use for adding details to things. You can get craft foam from stores like Walmart, craft stores like Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and it's pretty cheap. Like this whole sheet is 99 cents. You can also get them in packs of like 12 or something. So when working with craft foam, it's kind of difficult to find a glue that works. This works. This is contact cement. It forms like a permanent bond between 2 pieces. The only thing is, you have to use it in the well-ventilated area. You also have to apply it to like both pieces that you're going to stick together, and you have to let it dry for at least 15 minutes, and then you can stick them together. And then it will stay, and you will need the jaws of life to pry it apart. Just make sure that you put it on things that you know you want to stick together. Actually, there's like a lot of things that I want to tell you about how to use this stuff, because there are a few things I've learned. In addition to contact cement, I also like to use a hot glue gun. I wouldn't use it on anything that your life is depending on, like closures or anything like that, but I would use it for details. So for Poison Ivy's leaves, this is how I got them on. I was sewing them all by hand, but that was ridiculous. I hot glued them on. So for cutting, I like to use a box cutter, which is what I use on my thicker pieces of craft foam and on EVA foam. And I like to use an X-Acto knife for thinner pieces of craft foam, and also to add details. So like all of the scroll work was done with an X-Acto knife. So next up are primers. I haven't really found a primer that I really like. I'm going to try Plasti Dip again. I used it before on my Poison Ivy armor, but some of the pieces, see this texture? Some of the pieces kind of got like this grainy texture on them, and I'm fairly sure it's just because I used it incorrectly. Like maybe I didn't shake the can enough, or I was at the end of the can and I was trying to use residual bits. I don't know, but I will try Plasti Dip again. But what I'm using right now is wood glue. I mix wood glue with water, and I do about 5 to 6 coats on my craft foam. And then each coat has less water, more wood glue. Only thing about wood glue, I have noticed that my pieces crack, especially over time. Like my Revan armor, I took it out last week and I tried to bend it to my body and it just got fissures and cracks all over the place. It was pretty bad. Thankfully, I didn't want to keep it or anything, but if it had been a piece that was important to me, I would have been pretty upset. So the last primer that I've used is Mod Podge. One of the things about Mod Podge is that I think it also is not very flexible, but if you apply it to 2 pieces and they touch each other, they're going to end up sticking. So like if you have like a bag full of armor that's all been primed with Mod Podge, if 2 of the pieces are touching, they're going to stick together, and that could peel up your paint. So just be careful how you transport and store your items that you've primed with Mod Podge. Also, I like to use Mod Podge on my craft foam to attach fabric to the back of them. If you just have craft foam on your skin all day, your skin is going to start to sweat because craft foam is not a very breathable material. So what I do is I line my pieces with fabric. I put Mod Podge on the craft foam, and then I put the fabric on top of the Mod Podge, and then do a layer of Mod Podge on top. And like when I'm running out, I just do it on just the edges, just to make sure it's glued down. That kept me from sweating in it. So yeah, Mod Podge, fabric. So next up are fasteners. Fasteners are things that you use to get yourself into and out of your cosplay. So that can include elastic, Velcro, zippers, things like that. Just be careful with Velcro. If you use sticky back Velcro, make sure you glue it. I use sticky back Velcro to attach my Revan armor, or to close my Revan armor, and it failed in 2 hours. So I had to duct tape myself in every couple of minutes, or every time I did a long walk, I would need to duct tape myself back in. Well, I didn't duct tape myself. The love bug duct taped me into my Revan armor. Also with fasteners, you can make your own fastener. These are just jump rings from the jewelry department of Hobby Lobby, and they're attached using like black ribbon that's 1/4 of an inch thick, I believe. And what I did is I just laced these up, and on the other side I have elastic. This piece I didn't use because I redesigned my armor after I had made this, so that's why it's basically finished and it's been cut off from the rest of the armor. Another item that I use a lot of is Tulle. Yeah, like a surprising amount. I use Tulle to cover all of Jasmine's bra. It was originally a bra, and I just covered the top with Tulle and added these little arm thingies. Actually, weird story. This bra is the reason why I started this channel. I went looking online for a tutorial of how to cover a bra with Tulle, and I couldn't find one, or how to cover a bra with fabric, and yeah, I was having a really difficult time finding one. And I figured if I can't find a video, then maybe I should make it. So I figured out a way to do it, and well, I didn't record myself doing it because I didn't think I was going to be successful at it, but I was pretty successful. So yeah, if I get a chance, I'm going to record a video for this thing. Another item that I use a lot of are rhinestones. Sometimes if your cosplay doesn't even look that great, if you throw some rhinestones on it, people are gonna love it. Rhinestones and trim can save your life one day, just like ham boning. Trying to mug me? So another item that I use a lot of is spray paint. And if you are going to be cosplaying or you have a lot of things to spray paint, I suggest that you get one of these. It was about $1 to $1.50, and yeah, it saves your fingers, because when you're sitting there and you're having to push that little button for like a lot of stuff, your finger starts getting tired, and you try to switch hands and then that finger gets tired, and it's a mess. It's awful. Also, if you use rubber gloves when you spray paint, which I think you're supposed to, I don't know, but if you use rubber gloves when you spray paint, sometimes the rubber glove is too big and it'll kind of lean over the spray nozzle, and so all the spray will get caught on the rubber glove and it'll start to drip. I've spray painted a lot. They fit on most spray paint cans. They do not fit on Valspar, whatever. Awesome. Love it. So another item that I use a lot of is acrylic paint. I use it for weathering, like I'll get black acrylic paint or brown acrylic paint, and I'll water it down and kind of put it in the cracks and crevices of my objects to kind of make them look dirtier. It also gives it more dimension so that it's not just one solid piece. Like this thing, before I weathered it, it was just very plain. But then once you weather it, it kind of makes these grommets pop out a little bit. And it also showed my detail, my scroll work detail. So acrylic paint versus spray paint. I generally like to use spray paint, even though I think it's more expensive, like based on how much you get. I like that there's no brush strokes, but if there's a specific color that you need, you need to go with acrylic paint. There's more variety in colors and you can mix your own color with acrylic paint. Also, when it comes to weathering, I use a lot of enamel, especially silver enamel. I like to use enamel when I'm weathering. It's like metallic objects. You put it on edges that would get beaten up or scratched up or the paint would come off of. And it's kind of like you're showing the metal that's underneath the paint that was taken away. So like areas that would be scratched up or things like that, I just kind of add some enamel too. And weathering is like my favorite thing in the world, so I am going to have to do a video on weathering and what I do for weathering. I don't know if I'm all that good at it, I just really like to do it. If you like doing it, you should do it, unless it's illegal. So that's it as far as materials. The next category, things that I've learned. So the first thing that I've learned is make sure you give yourself enough time to do your cosplays. By giving yourself enough time, you can make sure that you do your very best work, and you can also kind of eliminate potential problems. Like with my Revan armor, I didn't give myself enough time at all, and it wasn't my best work. And also, my armor like fell off of me because I didn't finish it soon enough to make sure that the closure on it was going to work. So my second tip is do your basics first. Make sure that you have clothing to wear. If your costume is poison ivy, make sure you have a leotard. You don't need to focus on the leaves and the armor or whatever weapon you're going to have. Just focus on your clothing first, and then you can spend time on that extra stuff. You're going to be very disappointed if you spent all this time on a prop and then you get to Dragon Con or whatever event you're going to and you don't have a costume because you spent all your time on a prop. So just make sure that you have clothing to wear, and then you can spend your time on that extra stuff. Some people may disagree with me, like Lovebug disagrees with me. However, I think that you need to make sure you have clothes to wear first, and then you can start doing Magneto helmets. Yeah, true conversation last night. Magneto needs a shirt and pants before he needs a helmet. I mean, hopefully you get the shirt and pants done quick enough so you can do the helmet, but he needs clothes. Like if you're just wearing regular street clothes and you're walking around in a Magneto helmet, you're not, I mean, if that's your cosplay, go ahead. But you'll look more costume if you have like the shirt and pants rather than just the helmet. I mean, the helmet's cool, but it's a prop. I don't know. That's how I feel. Other people feel differently. So my third tip is to have an organized workspace. Having an organized workspace saves time, saves energy, can save money because you don't have to rebuy things just because you lost them the first time. Also, you don't get as frustrated because when you're looking around for stuff, you can get really frustrated, and by the time you find it, you don't even want to make whatever it was anymore. I could do a whole video on just organizing your workspace. Well, I don't have time right now. So what I will do is give you one tip. Make sure every object in your room or in your workspace has a specific home or spot that belongs. So at the end of the day, it needs to go back to its home. For example, all my glues belong in one spot. So at the end of the day, this glue, the contact cement are all going back in that spot because that's his home. And at the end of the day, they need to go home. Otherwise, they will be sad and they will cry and whatever. They need to go home. Go home. My next tip number 4, I believe, is iconic colors. Make sure you know your character's iconic colors, because in the beginning, especially if you didn't give yourself enough time, just having the right colors of your character can help people recognize you and can help you look more in character. And it gives you a leg up on your cosplay. Also, it gives you a starting point. Like when you're going shopping, it helps you know like what to look for. And my last and 5th or 6th, I don't know. And lastly, if there's a lot of circles that you need to do in your cosplay, or you do a lot of cosplays that have a lot of circles, get a compass. This one was like, I think $1 at the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure if we got it from the Dollar Tree or not. I think we did. It's annoying looking around for objects that are the right size circle in order to make whatever it is that you want to make. So just get a compass. That way you can make your circle at whatever size you need it to be. Also, if you have like a love affair with X-Men, like I do, get a compass because you will need it. Well, yeah, let me show you. All of this was just Jubilee. And it was before I had a compass, so I had to look around for circles that were the right size and, you know, get a compass. So that about does it for step 5. In this step, we talked about making your cosplay and just different tips and techniques to help you with that. In the next video, we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about test driving and making revisions. Pretty excited about that one. We're going to go on location. Yeah. So if you want to receive a notification when that video comes out, make sure you hit subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, or you have a suggestion of a video that you'd like to see, leave that in the comments section. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. I think that is like over here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time when I'm test driving my cosplay. You trying to mug me?